Hey friends, I hope that you're having a really good week. And if you're like me and you like to watch the cycles of the moon, today's a new moon. So I hope that you are setting some beautiful intentions for your business. I am very excited to do that this afternoon. I've got two coaching sessions and then I'll be off for the day. And I am going to do some journaling, some meditation, some writing in my journal. I think I did an episode. I did a live about this before. I'll be using my beautiful moon journal that I just bought, so I'm really excited about that. And I got two new crystals over the weekend, so I am really excited to have some me time. And that's what I love about these kinds of rituals, is that you're really putting aside some time to do some thinking, to go deep inside of yourself, and I love that. But today we're going to talk about sales funnels. Now, a lot of people may wonder what a sales funnel is. It's definitely a marketing term. And I kind of hate it because sales funnel just sounds like something that's gross, right? It kind of sounds like one of these gross salesy type of things, or marketing, right? Marketing in a bad way. And I have found that so many entrepreneurs have a huge aversion to sales because they automatically think about that salesman, that, used car salesman kind of stereotype and things like that. So I would really love for you to think about marketing funnel like your client journey, or how you're going to build relationships with people, because that's what a sales funnel really is. So we could get really in depth and talk about all the ins and the outs of creating a funnel, but in its essence, a sales funnel is just how you attract clients, and then how you build a relationship and then actually start to work with those clients. So a sales funnel or a client journey really has three main parts. The first part is attraction. This is how you think about, like, meet new people, right? How you get on their radar, how you get visible. The second part is nurturing or engagement. And then the last part is conversion. So if you wanted to think about this in dating terms, then it would be where you go to meet people, having a coffee date, and then having some kind of commitment. So maybe you're going to go study, maybe you're, whatever that might mean to you. So three parts again are attraction, nurturing, and engagement is the second part. And then the third part is conversion. So I know I've talked before about how to identify why your marketing tactic or your sales funnel isn't working. So these are the three parts that you want to look at. But they're also the three parts that you want to consider as you are building your own client journey, when you're thinking about how you want to create relationships. Because if you try to, let's say, go to places that you don't want to go, we'll just keep with the dating example for this. So let's say that you really want to meet somebody new. You're interested in getting back on the market and dating and meeting people. And I know all of your friends are like, oh, you've got to get on Match.com, or you've got to get on, I don't know, whatever the new things are. And you do not want to do that. You have this idea in your head that internet dating is terrible, that there's just a bunch of people out there that are waiting to take advantage of you or something like that. It's not going to work for you because you don't believe that it will work, and it's not the way that you want to show up and meet people. Maybe you are better at, maybe you're the kind of person that's like, I don't want an internet date, but I'll do blind dates. So then you would talk to people who you know and say, listen, I'm interested in dating. If you know somebody new, I'm available for blind dates. So that kind of thing. So the key to making this relationship work and actually getting more clients and creating a funnel is that, one, you have to think about, where are you going to show up? And it's got to be a place that, while it may make you a little uncomfortable, like, gosh, I really want to use Instagram more, but I don't know everything about it, but I'm available and willing to stretch myself and figure it out. Okay, that's a place where this would be a good thing for you. If you are thinking like, I hate live video, I hate it, hate it, hate it. Everybody's telling me that I should do live videos, that I should start a Facebook group, and I should do Facebook Lives. And you, again, hate it, hate it, hate it. You're not going to do it. So you may start the group, you may invite a few people, but it's not going to work for you because you don't really want to show up like that, right? So the first, most important part is really thinking about how you want to show up. Now, this is where it gets really fun, is when you think about, how do I like to engage with people? And I think that it's great to think about how you like to do this in real life. What kind of person are you? Are you really extroverted and you're just so good at meeting people? And maybe you're a connector and you're really great at connecting different people. And so you love communities like that, where you can meet a bunch of people, connect people and kind of be that person. Or, usually if you're more of an introverted person, then you are more about building deep, meaningful relationships, and you're not as good as the kind of broad catch sort of space. So you want to think about that, because if you're an introverted person, some things are not going to work as well for you as others. And it's always best to really think about what works for you, what matches your personality, because again, you're much more likely to be consistent, and every marketing strategy works if you work it. So that's all about showing up and being consistent. So I think that every strategy that you may have always has so many possibilities, and you can just get really curious and see, like, how can I take this a step further? How can I go deeper? But especially when you're starting off, you just want to think about those main things. So I will just use Instagram as an example. Let's say that you decided, I really love Instagram, and I am willing and available to show up and learn how I can use Instagram in different ways, because this is what I really like, and this is where I feel like people who would want to work with me, people that have the problem that I solve, are going to be hanging out. So you decide where you're going to attract, right? And then in the second portion of this, you want to think, okay, well, how can I nurture and engage? Because you can be on Instagram all day, but if you're not engaging with people, then they're not engaging with you. And that means you never get to that third section, which is how you actually convert followers, people that you talk to, into actual paying clients. So this is where you have so much opportunity. So maybe you want to think about, well, where am I sending them? And what kind of value can I give to them? And how do I like to talk to people? And it's funny because sometimes the smallest things can make a big difference. So if you are thinking about this and you see places where you're resisting, and resisting as in, I am not showing up and doing this regularly. I say that I'm going to do it some, and then I'm not. So one of these things for me was in messaging people who followed me. It was something that I felt strongly about. It was something that I wanted to do, but I just couldn't do it consistently. And I had to sit there and think, what is your problem, Shana? Why are you, like, what is it that feels like a barrier to you? And really, it just felt like time. And so instead of typing stuff out, I just started using the voice app. And I was nervous about it because I always feel nervous with new technology. And you probably do too. Like, am I going to screw this up? What if I say something? I can't delete it. I can't redo it. There's always kind of that. And so I sent a voice message to a friend. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's how it works. I can do that. And so I started voice messaging people who followed me on Instagram and having a conversation like that. And it took, it's such a tiny thing, but it felt like a huge weight off. And I was like, okay, this is a strategy that I like, and it works for me, and it works with the way that I like to build relationships. And I like anytime I can use my voice, it seems to be a really good thing for me. So yes, I love the voice message feature too. I feel like, I don't know, it's like the smallest thing, but it makes it feel so much simpler. So, and thinking about your sales funnel and how you build relationships with people, in that example, it would be, okay, I always show up on Instagram, and when somebody messages me, I always send them a voice message. And then I make sure that I ask them a question about themselves or their business, and you kind of give yourself an outline of what you're going to do. And then, okay, so what's the next step? What kind of value can you offer them? And so you just start to build that in. Somebody messages me, I send them a voicemail, I ask them about their business, and based on their answer, I give them some kind of value that I've got that would help them. Or maybe you've got a Facebook group and you say, I give them value. And then after I give them value, I ask them to join my Facebook group where I can connect with them on an even deeper level. So that's the way you want to think about it. Sales funnel sounds like kind of sleazy. And I think that a lot of us who have been in business for a few years now probably think about these ones, or it's like the person and they have a white background and they're like doing one of these numbers and pointing to the thing that they want you to do. And then you get into some kind of like funnel where there's a tripwire and then there's a follow-up and just blah, 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 blah. If that feels just like something you're not interested in, then that's totally okay. Because as I said, a sales funnel is really just a client journey of how you attract them, how you nurture and engage with them, and then how you convert them into a paying client. So basically you're saying, hi, this is what I do. This is where I'm showing up. Then you start a relationship with someone where you find out, what is it they need? Do they have the problem that you solve? I like to think about, like, who can I connect you with, and those kinds of things. And then the last portion is just like, hey, I would love to help you solve your problem. That's really all that sales entails. It can really be that simple. And so sales funnels to me are really exciting because you can always change your mind. You can constantly evolve and change it. So let's say that step one for you, you're new and you're just like, for me, consistently showing up on Instagram and giving value and writing really good content and making sure that I message people back is enough. And then you think, well, how can I go deeper? How can I give even more value? And you just want to keep asking yourself these questions until the experience is pretty seamless. You know that when A happens, I do to B, and these are the steps that I do, and this is how I create relationships with people. And then it just becomes like second nature. So a lot of times with clients, I have them actually write it down, step 1, 2, 3, 4. And after they have a little bit of practice, they don't really have to think about it. It's not like they have to come to the reference sheet. The reference sheet is really just to give you confidence and take out decision making so that you always know exactly what you're going to do. We used Instagram as an example, but maybe your thing is Facebook. So you notice that whenever each of you joined this group, you had questions that I asked you, and then I sent you a follow-up question. I tried to offer you some value, and then whatever it is that you had questions about, I try to make a piece of content that's specific for you, and I look at my sheet, so it's really organized. I also don't want to make you feel like it's creepy, but I have, stuff that people have asked about, and I will tag you in it. And so for me, that's a way that I can build relationships based on how can I help you? How can I give value to you? And you can do the same thing. So creating a really good sales funnel that matches the way that you like to show up, how you like to build relationships with people, so that we're building in success that is, and then success comes in making sure they're actually following through and doing it, but also like feeling really good about it. That's part of what I do when I work with people in my marketing intensive. The marketing intensive is 6 weeks, and we go through and make sure that you have the right sales funnel, the right copy, the right mindset. Of course, we always have to do a little bit of mindset work and strategy so that you're really able to market your business. For some bosses, it's kind of a general overview. For other bosses, they're really trying to market something new or something specific, and they're not really sure why. They're either not getting very much interest or they're not getting very many conversions. So if that sounds like something that you would love to do and you would love to commit to 6 weeks of marketing in your business to solve that problem so that you can consistently get sales, I would love to work with you, and I'll put the link here so that you can take a look and see if that seems like the best fit for you. And tomorrow I'll be going live again to show you guys exactly what my content calendar looks like, my marketing calendar, where I have everything organized, and I just use Google. So it's a really simple system. It works for everybody, and you can watch the replay tomorrow, or you can join me live at 1 with any questions that you might have about how you can apply this to your business.